Hello and welcome to 5 Minutes. I'm Brian Sexton, and this is the show where we meet innovative business leaders wherever they're at, whether it's here in Florida or around the world, and we find out what they're doing and where they're headed and what success looks like. So let's start with our first guest today and welcome Craig Andrews from the Beholder Agency. Craig, welcome. How are you today?
Thank you for having me. How are you today?
I'm doing great. Look, you are in a very specific space. Local digital marketing. What are you doing up in Wilmington, Delaware that has your business cranking?
Well, what we do is we provide our clients with local digital marketing. So what that means in a nutshell is making sure the clients can be found online with our cell phones in a local space. They're no longer competing with all the big boys in the traditional SEO space. We're trying to really get them targeted. So if you're a plumber, pizza guy, roofer, we really want to bring you and elevate your business from there.
So why is local digital marketing and what you're doing in a very localized way growing so fast, and why is it such an important thing for people to be involved with?
It's important because our world has changed where everything is running through our cell phone. So because your cell phone has the localized metrics and able to find that you're where you're at, a lot of times if we're going out to dinner with your wife or girlfriend or friend, you're going to look up the local place to eat. And Google has a way of making sure that they can target where you are and then find the best options around there. So the more that you can optimize your business to be in the top of that search, the more business you'll get.
All right, also joining us on the panel today is Jon Goehring, who's a voiceover artist. Now, I use the word artist because as a voice guy myself, I understand what it takes to be in business. So tell me, what are some of the things that you've experienced, Jon, in the voiceover industry that maybe you didn't expect?
Well, Brian, thanks so much for having me on. Voiceover is such a fun industry, but it's also so challenging and demanding. And so many people think that you just turn on this mic right here and you just start talking and there you go. Now you're rolling. Now you can make some money just with your voice. But there's so much more to it than that. In fact, I believe as a voiceover artist, what's more important than having a great voice is actually having the business skills to get that work. And also, I think the biggest thing in voiceover right now is not to try too hard, not to try to go over the top. You know, I brought my radio experience, and as you know, Brian, it's so easy to get on the mic and over exaggerate and over enunciate and sound like a radio guy. But having to dial that back a bit and just talk, you know, like a normal person talks. That conversational tone is such a big trend in voiceover and all of media right now.
Jon, where did you learn the business skills? Because it's not like you go to school to be a voiceover artist. That's just a talent that you've been given. Where did you pick up the ways and means to become a successful businessman?
You know, I actually ended up taking some business courses at a local school because I started in voiceover and I realized that, you know what, this is so much more than having the talent. There are so many great voice actors out there who struggle with the business side. I also listened to a couple of voiceover business podcasts. I invested in a CRM, a coach, and some other tools. And from there, that really took off the business. And I wouldn't even say that my voice improved exponentially. I mean, my voice is what it is, right? But having the business skills definitely started exploding the business.
So the next question that I have for both of you, gentlemen, and Jon, we'll just stick with you for the moment, and that is, what's the biggest challenge that you face in your business today?
The biggest challenge still is business development. And I think a lot of business owners can agree. Craig, you might be able to say the same thing. I don't mean to speak for you, but I think that's a huge challenge that we all have. And business development, especially in voiceover, since there are so many voiceover artists out there who are knocking on the doors of radio stations, of production companies, saying, hey, I can voice this, I can voice that for you. It becomes a real challenge because if you use that same approach, that cold reach out approach, you're often just lost in the weeds and just another one of those annoying salespeople. So I think in voiceover and in a lot of businesses, business development is the biggest challenge.
You agree, Craig?
I do. I think in addition to business development and everything that he spoke of, the other side of it from a marketing perspective is everybody can be a marketer, especially today. The difference is having to be able to articulate the skills similar to the business development of what it takes to do a complete marketing plan. Ultimately, anybody can create something on Canva, create something on their phone and push it out there and market. or get tchotchkes. But to really do marketing properly, you really have to have a good sense of data, good sense of organization, and being able to make changes quick so that you can double down on what's working.
So let's wrap it up with this quick question. What does a successful 2025 look like for you, Craig, at the Beholder Agency?
A successful 2025 for us is actually improving our business development to that point. Right now, we're really putting the message out from a marketing perspective, the importance of doing local digital marketing, because Google's kind of changed some of the rules. And the more the small to medium-sized businesses we can talk to that can understand the importance of improving that part of their marketing will improve our 2025.
How about you, Jon? What's 2025 going to look like when it's a successful year?
I'm never going to stop growing. I believe that as soon as you stop growing, you've failed, because that's when you are lying to yourself and telling yourself that there's no more room to grow. There's always room to grow. One way I'm going to do that is my goal is to read 25 books on business development and mindset and personal development this year. And then on top of that, of course, the bottom line, want that to grow as well, as that's everything in business, but just to never stop growing in 2025.
Don't you mean you're going to listen to 25 books? Right? Voiceover artist?
To us, that's synonymous. Reading is listening, because you're right. I love my Audible subscription.
Folks, that's what we do here on 5 Minutes With. We introduce you to business leaders who are innovating in their space, no matter where that space is. Craig, Jon, thanks for joining us today. It was a pleasure to have you on 5 Minutes.
Thank you.